Welcome back, everybody. Time now for our second Starladder America semi-finals here in the winner bracket. We've just witnessed EHUG take down Root 2-1. Not convincing by any means, but this one around, it's going to be Team Fire taking on the Leviathan Dota squad. How are we doing, Dakota?
Doing good. That was a long-winded, exhausting, girthy series that we had before us. But right now, we got to move on. Both of these teams rip-roaring and ready to go. Leviathan, who had taken down Root yesterday in the almost double elimination tiebreaker group series, now have made their way into the playoffs, but they're going to have a pretty big test before them. It's Fire Dota, formerly the Sneaky Nyx Assassins, and look at this roster we got here. It's going to be TC, Fluff, and Mike of Sneaky Nyx Assassins / Team Liquid of old, going to be joined now by former Navi US members Fogged and Ush. What a squad we got here.
So, replacing Brax as well as... Who's the old support player that I'm missing? Whitebeard's been gone a while, I want to say.
Whitebeard has been gone. Who's that other one I'm forgetting about?
They played with Way2 for a little bit, but that was not recently.
I think just that fifth spot was always a rotating one.
Okay.
I can look it up in the meantime.
I'm curious, because I feel like they had at least...
Now I'm curious, yeah.
They had a fifth who was with them for a good amount of time. Who was playing support with Fluff?
It was Fluff, and I mean, I always say Whitebeard. I thought it was Whitebeard by their side, but I'm trying to find it here.
You could be right. You know,
apparently,
I trust you.
There's one all the way down here, a SNA game. Oh, that's from the international. This is going to be way old.
we want Starlight America.
Okay, here.
Who was
I
a week
their
ago?
name. I know how to dat Dota, I believe here. Okay, so the last time SNA played together. Well, that's not going to help. Yeah, it was Whitebeard was with them. So I guess Whitebeard has been the ringer or the position for quite a while Fluff more of the captain or maybe the call of the shots in the game, likes to play more of that selfless 5 position. But their captain right now, at least, is going to be TC leading the charge of the draft. As far as how they're going to lane this one, though, that's a different story. I mean, with these new roster changes, obviously some of these players are going to have to change about the roles a little bit here. If I had to just casually throw out my guess as far as how Fire Dota are going to be laning with these players, I'd imagine TC could be, I don't know, between TC and Ush, they both can play mid and play the core role. So, and I imagine a Mike is going to stay true to his off lane, and then Fogged and Fluff can play either support. But what I really like about this is Fluff, if he does stay with that 5 position, Fog gets to move out from the 5 position he's been in for so long, and I think he really shines when he's a 4. He can get Earthshaker, he can get Sand King, and those are heroes he has been notoriously known for being so good on. There was a while there, they called him the Mantis King. He still uses that name now, and that's because he plays a damn good Sand King. I wouldn't mind seeing him do that again.
I'd say it's just his best hero, hands down. Like, you tell me, like, what's Fog's signature hero, and I would say Sand King. Like that.
He hasn't played in so long. It's been so much like Skywrath Mage and Witch Doctor and, you know, all that 5 position stuff he's been rolling with on Navi US / even not today when he was here for the summit too. But moving on forward,
I like the idea they can swap between 4 and 5. Like if they want to pick a Chenner and Enchantress for Fluff and give him more farm and then put Fogged on his 5 position Witch Doctor, okay. But then they should also be able to put Fluff onto that 5 position, whatever it may be, Witch Doctor, Marana, and then get that Sand King for Fogged, get that Earthshake, and give him some farm.
You're going to have a feel-out period, I'm sure. I mean, even for them, I don't know how many scrims they've played with this lineup, but there might be a feel-out period where they see who fits best where, doing what, between both those cores and supports. So we'll see as the draft does develop here. Leviathan, they were immediately denied their precious Pudge, so Fire Dota, they have not been slacking. They obviously know Leviathan, who they are, what they're capable of, so they get rid of that Pudge, and on the same other side of the coin, Leviathan get rid of the Spirit Breaker, which has been something that IX Mike has been playing a lot of in his off lane, and they're going to get the Vengeful Spirit Troll Warlord, which has been a shredder tried and true for a while, and the Wisp, which is something I don't see Leviathan pick up often, or even any NA team pick up often. And on Fire Dota, they get that Brew, and Centaur Marana is the 2 to follow up.
And Nyx, we sometimes see Nyx used because of, like, if there's ever like a big mana burn target, like we've seen it used to kind of stuff like Medusa or whatever it may be, but looking at a game like this, I'm like, no real big application for the mana burn. Carapace is okay, but you're not looking at it like against like a Batrider for a setup. I don't really see this as being like a really juicy Nyx Assassin game where you're just going to get a lot of kills. These are also tanky heroes who you can't really go around hunting with the Vendetta Impale, apart from the Marana, but Marana as a defensive support may be hard to catch up regardless. So I look at this and think, very curious that they picked the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah. It's Leviathan, though. They could do something crazy.
Yep.
The innovative group. You never really know. Fire Dota side, they see this. They now see that Leviathan are going to be playing with a Wisp here. They still need a secondary support, and Disruptor is available. He's kind of one of those heroes that can be a swift counter to something like a Wisp who loves to do those big relocate plays. And obviously the Static Storm could be a big haymaker right there. So something they could always look out for. Or Witch Doctor. Oh, it was banned. I think that's a good ban from Leviathan. Witch Doctor always works nicely against the Tether duo. Yeah. So it's going to be a Slark. That's going to be the 4th pickup right here, and what many upper echelon pro players consider as a terror in their pub play. Slark is quite the doozy of a hero. He was nerfed, but not as much as people were hoping, I guess. His pounce was nerfed down in damage, but he's still ridiculous. High mobility, very elusive, great night vision. The total package as far as late game goes.
Yeah. The more I look at this, the Nyx with the Wisp is kind of that scouting / initiator, and then you follow it up with a Wisp relocate in, so we'll see what they look to pair the Wisp with. Does do okay with the Troll, but I don't feel like that's a big ganking duo. I guess the Impale could look to set things up, but I feel like you could still go for that with Tiny. With Chaos Knight did receive a lot of big buffs. I kind of like the new Chaos Knight. He's got a lot of early game laning damage potential with the big buff to the Reality Rift damage. So I think we may be even seeing more Chaos Knight in the near future, when paired with a Wisp especially.
Leviathan, they're cheating, I know. They just banned out the Disruptor. They heard me say it. And they're like, yeah, you're right. We can't have Disruptor out there. We got to ban it. So they do get rid of it. So they also, picturing that Fire Dota, are looking into their secondary support grab that can really bring the pain. So we'll see what kind of road they want to go down with that. Skywrath Mage is still out there, but even with his recent nerf of agility, I still have to say he's a pretty good hero, but at least looks like neither team are considering it. And yet another game we're not going to be seeing a Jakiro whatsoever touched. Very interesting. No more Death Prophet. Death Prophet's now old news, it looks like. You know,
for now.
You know, so it's just funny to see how slowly the meta is already beginning to develop, and that's nice. It's always good to have a new breath of fresh air, I'd have to say, in Dota.
I feel like the Death Prophet nerf was really small. Like the strength gain from 2.2 to 1.9, effectively it means you have like at level 16 or something, you maybe have 100 less HP maybe. I don't know the math on it, but I imagine it's a very small amount of HP that you end up missing out on. So I think we'll still be seeing a bit of Death Prophet when teams feel like it can fit their lineup as like a 3rd, 4th, even a 5th pick. But not the place I was seeing here. When you go for like Slark, when you go for a Wisp type of game, Death Prophet doesn't fit into this kind of aggressive, more ganking and mobile type of game.
So the 5th grab, it's going to be Mr. Storm Spirit, the pudding pop master himself. I imagine is going to be Shibby's grab here, potentially, unless they're going to go with a Shibby mid lane Nyx. I imagine it's going to be Storm Spirit potentially repping there, which that I don't know if that's usually a common combo to have Wisp as well. Very interesting. So I don't know. I'm still a bit perplexed by this one. I mean, just trying to go with Leviathan's track record, Shredder being a side lane core troll. They already have Vengeful and Wisp. Nyx just seems the next best bet as far as being in an off-lane position, you know? Unless they go aggro? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they struggle a bit with an aggro tri lane. Maybe seeing Storm go safe lane with the troll mid as a possibility. Just because you can do that Wisp troll mid synergy where you can get really aggressive. And Troll's nice and tanky to actually dive a tower. Storm's pretty tanky himself with the high armor, but I feel Troll has a little bit more chase potential if you want to try zone out a mid laner. But it is a Brewmaster, so how much can you really zone out and beat a Brewmaster mid is always the issue.
Your last grab here for Fire Dota, formerly known as Sneaky Nyx Assassins, is going to be the Elder Titan. Somehow made his way all the way through the draft to the final grab up right there. And Fogged is going to be picking that up. So Leviathan had banked more on the initial counter of a Witch Doctor and a Disruptor, but that does leave Elder Titan up and at the ready for a second support grab there on Team Fire. And with that said, we've hopped into our second series here of today. It's going to be the next winner's bracket matchup here between Fire going against Team Leviathan. I'll lead off your introduction as the GLHFs are all coming out. Your dire side, we got Team Leviathan here. It's going to be Shibby repping his Storm Spirit side by side with Nusham on the Wisp. Along the top lane, we got a dynamic duo of Shredder on his core Troll Warlord, who has been buffed a bit. Mind you, that attack speed has been buffed up in this patch. He could probably utilize with that ultimate, so we'll see. Sunken is going to be joining him with that Vengeful Spirit. And on the bottom, indeed, it's going to be Jenkins playing an off-lane Nyx Assassin.
All right, so Leviathan's one of the teams who do mix around their roles a bit. Sometimes you see Jenkins in that support position, other times, like we're seeing now, that off-lane Nyx, but up against them will be Team Fire, kind of a new mix here, formerly known as the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. It's going to see some new faces as Fogged is going to be on the support. Elder Titan, Got the Captain Fluff on the Murana. We're going to see in the safe lane final roll will be Ush on the Slark. Mid lane will be TC on the Brewmaster, and that leaves in the off lane it will be KOTLguy playing a Centaur Warrunner.
So Leviathan not usually, they usually roll with their 5-man hit squad here, but they're going for the rune bottom, and here's an early tussle before even the 0-second mark strikes. Fluff forced to get leap, goes to the high ground, but he's stuck in a bit of a corner right there, and now they turn their sights onto Fogged, and Fog will walk away. Fluff eats his way out from that little corner, and who ended up getting it? It was Troll, who picks up the bounty at the top, but who got that one at the bottom? Elder Titan. It is Fogged who gets it, so they trade 1 for 1, but
pay a heavy price for it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ice Frog, for these big rune action-packed engagements right off the bat.
Fluff has to shoot through both tangos and also has level 1 leap, which is not ideal when you want to be going for those arrow snipes. And this Nyx Assassin bottom lane knows that there's no arrow, so he can be a lot more aggressive in lane. Does still have to worry a bit about a stomp / pounce where they can try and go on him. They also know there's no carapace, so we'll see how things work out. Right now, Fluff is going to venture back, probably to start do some stacks and pulls. Top lane, though. Oh my god, Mike is already so low.
Oh, Mike gets caught out with the missile, and they're just going to slowly walk and try to right-click him down here. Do they have enough damage? They don't. He soaks in the majority of it. You know, typically your Centaurs, they'll go either down the road of getting an early Stout Shield or an early pair of boots. Stout Shield seems to work out for Mike for now, as he has to salve up, though.
Yeah, I think if Troll had gone for the slow at level 1 instead of the Berserker's Rage, he would have had that kill, but I think Mike also knew he didn't have the slow, like saw him melee last hitting, so Mike's like, okay, he hasn't got his slow yet, I can be a bit more aggressive, but just pure right-clicks and Troll with very high base movement speed. Not something to be underestimated.
TC is, his Brew is stuck going against this duo lane, which Brew is normally a lane dominator in the mid, but going against this duo certainly is not helping. He does get his bottle as he was on his last bit of shared regen, which is already on cooldown. Bottom lane, though, Jenkins gets a lot of damage from that stomp, and creating more space for Ush on this Slark to continue to farm it on up.
A lot of aggression in a lot of these lanes going on simultaneously. Fluff will get a pull off. He's still got 0 XP, so there's no threat of any arrow ganks around the map. And especially, like, I'd say the mid lane, where if you get a bit too aggressive with this Wisp plus Storm Spirit, and an arrow comes flying in, catches either of the two, you could be looking at an early first blood with a clap, but doesn't have that gank potential just yet. 2-minute rune coming up, and it looks like the bounty rune is going to be left for the Brewmaster TC to refill his bottle.
It leaves an Invis rune on the other side, which has not been acknowledged yet, but could be swiftly grabbed up, and that's where we could possibly see a rotation into a first blood play. So we'll have to see if that's going to be the case. Meanwhile, Nushim, who's been doing a nice job stacking in the jungle on his Wisp, at least has one little stack right over here, and it looks like he didn't get the other one. I don't know, what level is he? He's level 2, so he does have the balls if he wanted to put those to use, and of course now he has that bottle, and a Wisp with a bottle is just a fantastic thing.
Not his bottle, it's actually Shibby's, but
oh, what a player.
He took it off the courier.
Sharing his career.
Yeah, didn't go for the bottle rush build, but he's going to keep on stacking, and Centaur top lane getting ganked up here. Got the stun off to slow down this gank, but KOTLguy just barely surviving. The boots and Shredder do pose a much higher kill threat there, but luckily he hits the hoof stomp.
Mike has 5-1 CS, and you compare that to the other side, Jenkins just a hair behind him on 4-0 CS with his Nyx. So both offlaners, obviously, not the best time as far as finding farm for yourself, but the survivability is what's crucial for them, not being able to hand over any sort of early kills and playing it an extra bit safe. Once Jenkins is able to get the levels, get to his level 6, then he can look to go on the assault.
And this Invis rune still chilling here. I think both teams just assuming it was taken and haven't gone for it, because Nushim can just, he's got the bottle, he can just heal up Shibby's mana and go grab it, but
maybe double rune. Well, 4-minute mark if they want it. They wait long enough, it could be there.
Does get scattered out. Fluff should, yeah, he's got level 2 now, so he does have the arrow, does go grab it, so. His movement / rotation has been scattered. Obviously he's invis, so he could have swung back mid, he could be really anywhere from top to mid lane right now, and that's where Leviathans will be probably very wary of a potential arrow coming in from the exact line which Fluff currently has.
And he's returning right back towards this mid lane. Waiting it out for now, but top lane you saw pull back. They weren't quite sure where this Mirana was going to go. She has been lingering quite a bit here. That second rune set's going to pop up at the 4-minute mark. A bounty again for TC, which will leave the double damage right there for Fogged on his Elder Titan. He's looking to get in on this mid lane action as well, looks like. And he could be welcomed here. Uh-oh, the duo catch him out. He's immediately throwing out the stomp, but the Vortex will cancel it. Shibby able to find a very nice grab right there. First blood going for Team Leviathan.
You know, like, Fluff could have thrown an arrow and all, but that was Fog getting way too cocky there. Did not read the situation well at all, and Leviathans had the vision. They had the observer. They knew where Fluff was. They also knew exactly where Fogged was, and just go straight at Fog. They say, "We'll take you on, and if you arrow us, well, we still get this kill probably, and there's no risk of them dying." The Brewmaster could not just magically walk up the cliff and get there in any fashion. He was never going to get a clap off.
And you can tell bottom lane they were also hungry to try to get a grab on the Jenkins. The pounce is going to miss from Ush. Fog made his return. They were hoping to get some sort of setup right there, but Jenkins, man, being very elusive on this Nyx assassin, constantly sidesteps. Of course, he does have that carapace at the ready, but Leviathan doing a nice job for now, at least. He works the stun in to find some CS, and if he also can hit Ush with it, it's just an added bonus.
All right, so Fire off to a pretty slow start. The Mirana pick, haven't really seen much from it. Support Elder Titan, normally known for just being that big bruiser. He has managed to control the runes. I mean, that's the one part of the Fire strategy that has worked out. Having these great rune controllers with the threat of 5-second arrows, Elder Titan being beefy, but they haven't turned these runes into anything. They haven't... I mean, it's helped TC out in the mid lane stay healthy and not really be under too much pressure, so it has helped TC, I would say, almost win this mid lane, but that's really all that's it's done.
Uh-oh, Shibby does stop for the Vortex. The arrow's not going to connect, and now the split's going to come out, and Shibby realizes he might be in trouble, but here comes Wisp. Healing it about right now, and the sustain is real. Looks like Storm Spirit's going to live. He walks on back, and good assist right there. Oh, they're going to go on Nushim now. The split's still happening, but it's about to wrap up, and it looks like with Vengeful Spirit getting in on the action, Fire going to have to step on back.
6-minute rune, regen up top, and TC going to grab that one, so he doesn't get a kill off of it. Came close, forced some rotations there. I mean, it looks like it's more or less an unsuccessful Brewmaster ultimate, but I think the trade isn't so bad. Like, that first cooldown, it's going to be back up in 100 seconds, and you do force a lot of defensive play from Leviathans. And, well, meanwhile, your Slark's off farming. He's got his Midas already. Similar story with the Troll at top. He's farming well, has phase boots, but not going for as greedy of a build like the Midas. So I feel maybe slight edge to Fire, despite the fact they didn't get any kills off the Brewmaster ultimate.
Ush is the kind of a guy, he will find his farm in his way if granted the permission to get that space. So this Slark could quickly develop to be a problem if they don't recognize it. We'll see if he's going to get the opportunity here. Fog continues to aid him about, though, in that bottom lane. His middle, they also continue to tussle. And, you know, they had banned out at the end of the draft, getting rid of both the Disruptor and the Witch Doctor to counter the Wisp, but it makes me wonder if maybe Fire could have benefited from maybe an AA in this kind of game to prevent all that heal. And you saw it save it right there on Shibby, and maybe the level 1 Chilling Touch could have certainly helped, but that's for another game and another day. But they're trying to make it work for now. Is the Mirana, who continues to roam it about, really hasn't gotten that star-studded arrow yet, but Fluff is very patient.
Mike just falling back to the jungle, has got level 5, so he's just trying to get the level 6 more than get the Blink Dagger right now, because he can actually help his team out go for a gank when he hits that Stampede, and then look to work from the Blink Dagger from there. And there's a lot of stacks waiting in the jungle, though not so much for him, since farming up those stacks is not going to be easy. Both sides with lots of stacks. Leviathan with the Wisp have managed to get a quad stack here in the big camp, and it looks like Shibby may be thinking about falling back and taking that farm fairly soon.
Oh boy, lots of income for them. Only one little Mud Golem set on the one side, but now they're going to go ahead and begin to farm it on up, so allow Shibby to get towards that Orchid, I would imagine, very, very quickly here. And we saw with lineups like Root and Sumail, when they get Orchid quickly, they can really snowball out of control. Shibby's a player. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case.
He threw most of his mana and HP. He's going to have to go back to base to heal after this one. As bottom lane, the tower trade is happening. Tier 1 already taken by the Troll up top, and it looks like a tower going to be taken at bottom by Ush on the Slark. So that gets his Treads Midas. Probably see the Blink Rush here. I don't think the Shadow Blade is really as good. I know players like Illidan for Virtus Pro likes to go for that Shadow Blade type of play, but I think the Blink is just the more stable
Jenkins,
route.
Little poke right there on the Fogged. How you doing right there? Tag you're it. Maybe was hoping for a more ideal Mirana to try to get a first swift Vendetta strike on, but not going to be fortunate right there. Instead just does his little poke play, and now we might see Jenkins begin to become a lot more mobile this game. Now that the Tier 1's been brought down and he's reached his level 6 point, we'll see if he's going to be able to live true to his name and get some assassinations underway.
Yep. So, very low kill count right now. As 9 minutes in, both teams getting their farm on. I'd say 2 core heroes on the Leviathan side getting more farm than the one of the Slark, but Brewmaster, he's going to have that X factor when he hits the Blink, which is going to be in a couple hundred gold. So that's where Fire can kind of up the ante, start getting more involved. And while we've seen Mirana be very quiet up till now, that can quickly change when these little skirmishes start happening.
Mid lane, clap exchange, vortex pull onto TC here. He still has the
Force an
split ready.
ultimate.
He's going to have to... Oh! Doesn't even get it off. He gets blown up. And TC goes down on his brew. Jenkins immediately rotates and is like, hey, maybe we can get some more action here. Because they know that the support's rotated in. But, hey, nice quick burst job. And TC underestimates it and can't get his ultimate off.
Yeah, Mike is level 6 now from top lane, so there is a Stampede, which is something that Fire have to use ASAP. They need to just get some kills going. Like, they can't just sit back and watch Leviathans control the entire tempo of this game, even with Slark farming as well as he is. I don't think you can just rely on the Slark ganks for catch-up. I think you need some to come from the Stampede, the Mirana arrows, the Brewmaster ulti, and Brewmaster ulti, with that slowed down blink, is going to be really tricky to get off.
Relocate top lane, set it up with a stun, sunken, holds Mike there even through the Stampede, and allows a great rotation to come in through. Leviathan get another, now 3-0 against the stacked Fire squad.
And that was even a Brew TP. He TP'd top thinking he could maybe help out, but it was too late, already dead, and bottom lane, Slark trying to pounce in, go for some blood on Jenkins, but not going to find too much. Oh, it's Elder Titan mid, though.
Finds another kill, taking down Fogged, man. Leviathan, they're feeling it right now, and because of that farm, because of that pickoff and that jungle work, they're making it happen here. Jenkins, though, going to be spotted out.
I think he saw the sentry get planted. Second sentry. Oh, nice little juke. Gets out of there.
Has not been
he wants to keep scouting. He wants to go for a kill here. He needs a bottle for the Impale. Ush knows he's being scouted, though, because he does not have the Shadow Dance. But here comes the bottle regen from the Wisp. The Impale going to be off the mark. Nice little pounce dodge from Ush, but good plays from Jenkins. Even though he doesn't get the return kill, he stayed alive and wasted a lot of time for Fire.
All right, so this is Leviathan's time. They begin to get pretty aggressive here. Nushim, who had soaked in so much XP from that jungle, is a level 7 Wisp, near level 8. So your relocates are now online, and this Wisp support, the battling now with Fogged, who's just a little level 5 Elder Titan, just goes to show how far ahead Leviathan are in the early parts of this game. So not over yet. Fire looking to bounce on back. They have yet to really get their Centaur a Blink Dagger where he can be their true initiator and utilize that Stampede. Obviously, same goes for TC. Now has his Blink Dagger, but they would love to be able to get the ball rolling and get themselves on the board.
Yeah. So, Helm dominate for Shredder. I'm not sure if he picked up a creep or not. I imagine he would have, but don't see anything walking around. But he gets something like an Alpha Wolf, and you can easily take Roshan. I want to say he's going to get scouted out here. This is a really risky place to be all alone. Some ballsy enemy jungle farming, and he's going to pay the price for it. But here comes the relocate in. He's still alive. The tether not on Shredder, so he does not have the sustain hit like. He's still trying to bottle up. Not going to happen, but it's 2 return kills already. Relocate off in 1 second. It looks like Nushim is going to survive this one.
And they step out back towards the mid lane. Nice little relocate play. Certainly helps, and I think Fire were counting on the fact that they were going to be able to burst down that troll a lot quicker, but they couldn't quite get it done.
Yep.
Ball lightning forward, but TC's not quite close enough.
So Mike at top just getting his farm on, and he's still got a good ways to go before his blink is up. 1,000 gold, not easy to just magically get as a Centaur.
I don't see a lot of Centaur played as of recent either. It's been more so of that Tidehunter kind of a niche pick, but Mike trying to make it work for now. He's also been playing a lot of the clockwork, which could be nice to have. Maybe this game, especially going against a Wisp, but
he just wanted that Spirit Breaker, man. That's what Mike's about right now.
It's supposed to be a Spirit Breaker kind of a game, but fortunately he has to man up on a Centaur instead. So we'll see if he can do so here. 1-6, very, very strong start right now for Leviathan here.
Big 5-man smoke.
Is this just into Roche early too? Yeah.
Yeah, because normally if you smoke, you're not going to smoke as 5. When you've got to relocate out, you would just smoke as 2 or 3 and then relocate in. So if you're going to smoke, you're going Roche. That's exactly what they have in mind. And Fire could maybe figure this out when there's 5 missing, but by the time they figure it out, it's too late. Roche is so easy. Not even using the troll. Okay, there we go. Battle Trance now gets used, but
Fire is nearby, but it is going to be too late. The Elder Titan Spirit walks in. Not going to get the stomp off quite yet. They've already moved out. Now they're going on to TC. TC, no split, gets taken down immediately, and now Leviathan, they want more, pushing forward. They grab a hold of Fog, and they take him down. Shibby now dominating on this Storm Spirit. They continue their pursuit.
Oh, relocate
forward. Mike trying to juke them through the trees to get away from this one. His Stampede had already been used, and now he gets stunned about. Throws out his own stun and will walk his way out the other side.
Shibby's full mana again. He died from the Aegis, but that's going to work in his favor because he's going to get the kill on Ush. The Slark, the carry goes down. I don't think you wanted to get rid of his Aegis there. It just gave him the kill on your biggest carry right now, and Leviathans pull ahead 9 kills to 1. They've got a huge lead right now.
Fire need to shake off this rust. I know they're a newly formed squad, and this is their first real I guess, competitive match, but right now they are being handled from Leviathan. Looking to push on in. They're going to go for this tier 1, but they see the rotation. TC shows up, immediately goes for the split. They could get 2 quick grabs here. They take down the Vengeful Spirit and Jenkins. Double kill for Fogged as Fire finally looking to bring some kills on their side of the map, and now they press on in. Tier 1, they would love to grab it, but Wisp still lingers about trying to bait it. Some action with that illusion. Man, oh man, 3-9. Still Leviathan's game, but still Fire happy to take what they can get.
There's a glyph available, so 10 seconds, they can buy that time, and Troll Warlord top lane goes down, solo kill by the Slack. Ush pulls out the Shadow Blade, gets a nice little kill there on the Troll, and creating some extra space to try to bring down the tier 1 tower. But Chibi jumps in, wants Fluff, will get Fluff in instant, and the second kill possibly going to be coming on Fogged as well. Stampede used defensively.
Yeah, he got a nice sleep that did prevent Chibi from moving on forward, so Fogg did his Elder Titan duty, and plus with that Stampede, they get a nice swift escape. But Jenkins, he's hungry. Scouting it out right now in Vendetta. Yeah, they've got beefy targets. Relocate. They're trying to go on Mike here. Jumping back and forth. They get a nice blink across here. Mike in big trouble. Will be brought down. Wicked sick right now for Shibby. Lucian so low, but Fogg able to finish it on home. And Shibby still continues. Fogg lives, turns around, finds that kill. Shibby goes down, and they want blood. Sunken now. Uh-oh, Leviathan may have just gone a little too far this time, and they lose 4.
That relocate out was like half a second away. It got down to 1 second, and then like right as it was about to go off, the Wisp died to a last second pounce, which then also left Storm stranded. That was Storm's escape plan. He was like, okay, I got the relocate to get me out of here, but suddenly Wisp is dead, suddenly Storm is dead, and suddenly you've just traded 4 for 1, and Fire are back in it, and if anything, maybe in a slightly advantageous position. The net worth gets back to 0, the XP gets back to 0.
Yeah.
And you've got Go ahead.
Really far ahead, so there's a little bit of a micro rubber band effect in there too. I mean, it was a lot of kills and a lot of net worth at the early start of this one for Leviathan. Fogg been taken down a lot, and well, bottom lane they're actually making it go. There's gonna be your Vendetta stun, but it is a Centaur, so Jenkins can only do a bit of harassment. But anyways, Fogg, who'd been one of the ones who'd been caught out time and time again, he gets a double, then another kill. Ush gets brought down, but he finds his own solo pick off in the top lane. Plus they get all that going in for the mid, and this game suddenly a lot more even than it once was.
Yeah. So Rush suddenly up to 2k gold on that Slack, so probably just builds towards the standard Skadi, I'd want to say, but plenty of options as far as if he wants to go somewhere else. Leviathan is going to be very careful, because they've got a very... We're seeing some like different picks from them. The Troll Warlord and the Nyx Assassin especially. Not heroes that scale all that well. The Nyx Assassin especially can fall off a bit. The Troll is going straight for that BKB, and this is just not a hero known for its late game carry potential. He works nicely in these like 2-3 core lineups because he can provide the other carries the battle trance, but giving attack speed to a Storm Spirit, a Wisp, like these heroes don't, and the Nyx, these heroes don't benefit from the extra attack speed.
Poor Mike, man. He is so close to getting this Blink Dagger, yet so far. 2k gold. It's about 18 minutes in. This is not the quota you want to be at for getting your Blink on a Centaur, but certainly will help with the setup play. And he'll get that time right now to farm it on the bottom. With Fogg kind of scouting things out. Fogg already has his staff looking to go forward for that Yules. The Elder Titan, who was struggling at the start, has found some great farm with those kills. And we'll see here as Ush, who continues to farm it on up. Authority, that Lothar is going for the ultimate orb. I don't know, man. It's looking relatively even here. I mean, how much do you put value into someone like a Troll Warlord to take it to a Slark in the late game? It might be a rough target.
1v1 man fighting, it's okay-ish, but it's... Slark just has, I think, too much at his disposal. But the Storm, like the Storm with the Orchid Initiation could be an X factor here. They'll scout at Ush in the jungle here, but again, Jenkins is just scouting. He's not active.
Could relocate on it. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the dust. Shadow Blade, but that Shadow Dance is what it's all about. Ush is trying to get away from this one, but they eventually catch up. There's the ball, the pull, and they do finish what they started. Nusham, he is going to get away last second before he goes down to TC, but they want something. How dare you take our precious Ush? We need something in return. Jenkins going to get swapped back. Sunken trying to save him, but the sleep's going to be there to lock down Jenkins. TC wants to go for Sunken while the others go for Jenkins. So Jenkins goes down. Vengeful Spirit actually gets away at the last second with that TP. 1-for-1 trade.
Mike and Jenkins were just having like a stun battle. Like one of them got 5-second arrowed, the other got like 4-second echo stomp. Like then the Carapace and the hoof stomp went at the same time. They were both stunned for like 10 seconds together. Just both like looking at each other in the eyes and nothing coming from it. That was some clowny shit, man.
I love the setup play they have here. Maybe something Leviathan had practiced before. They have a Wisp in the game with a possible relocate gank, and you got someone like a Nyx Assassin who could constantly scout it about and get some great setups. You might see something similar maybe with a Bounty Hunter. I would imagine in some games now with this new set of buffs. I wouldn't think it would be a bad idea, but here we go. Bottom lane, Ush moving forward. Oh, a quick jump back there from Shibby, and Ush is not going to get anything.
He was looking for the Wisp, I want to say.
Yeah.
Find that Wisp, kill him, and go from there, but not going to happen. Jenkins moving forward, sees fogged, and Jenkins is just being so ballsy on this Nyx Assassin. He's playing it like it's the full position Pudge. He's not worried about getting any farm, not worried about his score, just trying to be that really pesky initiator.
Ballsy.
Yeah.
But he gets caught with a sleep. Jump forward, Mike's going to get the stun, and
he gets out.
It looks like all the meanwhile Fluff will drop at that same moment towards the bottom. It's going to be a quick takedown right there. Jenkins still lives. He just goes into Vendetta form and
no relocate
on Fog.
Yeah. Oh. He's got teammates nearby. He's going to go for this kill with the Storm.
No more mana now for Fog. Silenced, pulled back. Your Elder Titan's going to drop right there. Shibby now a killing spree. 14-9. There was a bit of a breath of fresh air there for Fire, but now Leviathan have gotten numerous pickoffs and some team fights their way. Fire need to bounce back once more if they want to stay in this. Oh, BKB now complete as well on your Troll.
He's causing issues for Fire. Not so much as the Storm. Right now it's been all about the Storm, who's 10-1-4. The Troll in some ways is just becoming the backup plan for Shredder, but Moonlight Shadow looks like they want to initiate... TC! What's that? They saw the clap too. They saw the animation. I think he was trying to blink clap the Wisp and try go for a pick off on Nusham, but something didn't.
The question is if a bear is alone in the woods, can you hear him clap?
Well, the answer to that one was yes.
Well, now, though, Ush taking away some of these stacks over here. Continues to farm it on up as both sides up here. Yeah, it's like Leviathan don't want to hand over their tier 1 too easy, but we'll see what kind of initiation play Fire want to set up. Mike's got his Stampede ready to go. TC with the split, and obviously Clap now back up and at the ready, and Earth Splitter on top. We'll see if they can get it done, because Leviathan don't really have everyone yet. They still have, of course, that Wisp and Jenkins bottom lane they could always relocate in, but it looks like both teams might just separate for now.
Well, as things stand, it is Leviathan pulling ahead by a very small margin. 2,500 XP, even less on the net worth, but they can try to secure themselves the next Roshan once again and go for like some aggression off of the Aegis. I can see things starting to work out pretty well for
Fog. Yeah, he gets caught out and taken down.
Shibi's massive. Orchid BKB, he's got a lot of farm, and that's a great hero to have against a Slark as well. Until Slark gets like a BKB to get out of the Orchid initiation, he's going for what looks to be a Skadi. Maybe even decides he wants a Linken's instead. But no, he's already got the Skadi components. He's going to need Skadi and a BKB before he can truly fight and stay alive. Or at least he can't go on solo kill missions when there's always that threat of a Storm pounce in.
Jenkins' bottom lane could be in trouble. Has Vendetta, but will he get it off, though? There's going to be your Clap Carapace trying to reflect back those stuns. Catches both Ush and TC with it, and now Jenkins will drop. Oh! Try to get the save there, but now Wisp might have handed himself over, unfortunately. Where is he? He's going to bring someone back with him? No, he's in the fountain. Yeah, Anusham, it's nice knowing you, buddy. How you doing? Boom!
Not too well.
And Ush gets the kill, too. A double kill on top of that, so that's probably the best case scenario if you're a Fire fan.
Yeah, Nyx, two of the lesser important heroes as far as farm and items go for Leviathans, but Storm can't do it all this game. Troll also is not as farmed as like a true like safe lane free farming carry would normally be. He's been moving around a bit. He's gone to with his team to Roshan, and there's so much building on this Storm right now. So I feel like if Fire can just get a few things going to deal with him, if they hit a hoof stomp into an arrow, an echo stomp into an arrow, they've got a lot of setup to try and kill a Storm here, even with the BKB.
Can't help but question the value of the Mirana in this game. Didn't really get a lot going in the early game that you would love to get those arrow kind of setups, but already at the point when it's clear Leviathan, very aggressive. And you can see it now. Top lane, they make a long jump in. They're going for TC here. Orchid, Vortex Pull, do they have enough to stop him? He does have Split. He gets it off. So TC's fine this time. And now, maybe looking for a turnaround here. Gets the Cyclone onto Jenkins. They already have that sentry down. And Jenkins walking away. No Vendetta. Is he going to get out? Here comes Ush. They drop another sentry just in case. They didn't even need it. Ush, just in time to get a sweet kill for himself, is now on a killing spree. And a Skadi complete.
Yeah, those kind of long jumps. You have to get the kill fast, get out of there, and not The execution wasn't there. Shibi misses the ball lightning. Like, he just needs that extra damage from the ball lightning landing, and then they missed impale. The stampede was the big thing there. That just made it so hard to hit the impale when he has that max movement speed. So Leviathans will fall back. It looks like they want to try and take down a Roshan, which they should be able to do with no primal split. They got the Vents, Troll. These two heroes alone can take out a Roshan, should there be no interference.
There is an Elder Titan, though. He already throws out the Astral, and he's going to scout it out immediately. One of those benefits of having a support Elder Titan is just that constant extra vision on the map and being able to harass like this. What a support. Puts him to sleep, and Pinchful is eating a lot of damage from Roche. So, Fire, they have this bit of intel. They know this is happening. It doesn't look like they're going to put up much of a damage. Earth Splitter? Did he get the kill? No. Oh, man, that was close, though. Does Earth Splitter even hit Roche?
I believe it does. Not for...
Close on timing.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that one.
Well, Dire do get the kill regardless, and their Aegis is going to be snagged up and taken by Shibi, of course, on his Storm Spirit. So, second Aegis going to be grabbed up once again here from Leviathan, so they can control the new momentum of the game. Fire just going to play it a lot more patiently. Separation of farm happening right here. Ush works with the top lane. After having a Scotty, is already built towards 2k gold, so his Slark presence is getting pretty big. He's already top of the net worth now at 14k, with Storm behind at about 12.3.
Alright. So for Fire, and it's kind of both teams with a similar story. Like Fire, they're going to play around the Slark. Leviathans entirely play around the Storm Spirit. Even with Troll up there, a similar farm to the Storm, this hero just doesn't have the mobility, doesn't have the initiation or the kill potential of the Storm. So both heroes have that one big hero who's they're playing around. Leviathans have a bit more flexibility. They're using the Nyx Assassin to scout and the Wisp ganks for Fire. They don't really have the same coming out of TC's Brewmaster or even IX Mike on the Centaur. So I feel like Fire maybe need to have... I guess when Brewmaster gets the BKB, things could go a bit better, but...
Jenkins, that sneaky Nyx Assassin, spots out the former sneaky Nyx Assassin, TC, and he just kind of...
TP's in front of him.
TP's in. Not really an opportunity. I guess they want to go for any sort of big relocate plays. With a lot of Fire missing on the map, they don't know if that support can just swoop on in and they can run into a disaster. Not going to be the case. They pull back. Jenkins is just going to have to hand over that Vendetta, and Fire continue to farm on up.
Yep. So, top lane, Scotty, Shadowblade, Treads minus. He's well ahead of everyone else as far as farm goes. Fire pulling ahead, up by 1,000 net worth. Very small lead, if you can even call it one. But Leviathans have their work cut out. The fact Jenkins doesn't have even just something like a Blink Dagger really hurts him. Like, that's where he's focused so much on ganking. He's less farm than both his fellow supports. So when your offlaner has less farm than your supports, you're really putting so much pressure and emphasis on your two carries to get work done. Troll is not a carry who can really do too much in a fight until he gets really like massive, and it comes down so much to the Storm Spirit that I kind of worry for Leviathans the more this drags out.
Well, don't tell that to Shredder. This is a guy who does love his Troll Warlord, and he has put the team on his back before, and we'll see how much he can do it here. He has a tough test here. Ush's Slark is getting pretty big, pretty dang fast. And after taking down Tier 1, they have put their eyes on the Tier 2, and there's the power of Troll with that ultimate, man. There was a tower there briefly, but it's already taken apart, and that's back-to-back tower income going for Leviathan, as it looks like top lane. Jenkins moves on through. After activating his swift little bounty rune, he's going to see if he can scout any sort of Fire members leaving or evacuating the top lane side, and he could get some here.
Impale.
Oh boy, on both. Got it. Relocate. Might get a bit of trouble, and here it comes. Can they finish off the Centaur? They certainly can. Nice little Vortex fluff trying to leap to the low ground, but it is not going to be to any avail. They do get a nice 2 for special right there. Beautifully set up from Jenkins and his scouting Vendetta.
Yeah. Jenkins has been kind of... I don't know about the playmaker, but he's definitely filled his purpose. Like, he's not worried at all about farm. It is a worry when you've got essentially 3 supports, but Jenkins has been doing a great job playing that initiator and finding those kills. Because right there, Mike as well as Fluff are thinking, okay, I've got Blink, you've got Pound, you've got Leap, and I've got Blink, and we can just get out should anything come their way. But the instant impale preventing both of that, and well, Storm can easily chase after them around a Leap. So another Tier 2 tower probably going to be going down to Leviathan's way. They've got the Troll ultimate. Pretty much always have the Troll ultimate with the 30-second cooldown, and should be a pretty easy pickup.
They still have the Aegis here. I don't know how much time is left before it expires.
1 minute.
They're looking to put it to use really quick. If they can just at least walk away with a Tier 2 for it, they'll be happy. But Fuff trying to slow them down with that Astral Stomp. It's going to keep him back a bit here, so we'll keep an eye and see if Leviathan, they're going to make a big jump in play here to get their last value out of this Aegis, or if they're just going to try to walk away with an easy tower.
Got Storm with a Bloodstone coming on the courier, so he's going to start looking to pick up some of those charges as soon as he can. But for now, Team Fire do not want to defend.
Looks like it's going to be a tower grab, though. Making him work for it. Oh, we say that, but here we go. 2 rotations plus the jump it coming up from TC. There's going to be the split, and they move forward under the Moonlight Shadow. Ush thinks about making it go on Shibby, but Shibby immediately jumps on out and away. As he knows his Aegis could expire at any moment. Grabs up his Bloodstone. Leviathan quickly split, but they do manage to get a hold of one little sunken Vengeful Spirit. But they wanted a lot more for how much they invested so far, and Mike is leading out the charge, trying to get a hold of someone here, and does he see that tether? He does not. He gets stunned on the high ground. Uh-oh, Jenkins trying to get away, not going to be so lucky. The Yules is going to be there to prevent the TP, and now they're going to set it up with a stomp. He's locked into a corner. Wisp, oh, he gets him to relocate. He's going to put him out. Where is he? Back at the base?
Yeah, back at base.
Back at the base.
I think he actually got the blink off as well, so he was more than okay in multiple ways. They're looking for the Wisp, though. Should be a kill. There is a storm nearby, no tether, though.
And good grab. Ush again gets it.
So Fire still keeping themselves in this game and getting decent farm up.
Oh boy, MKB now on your troll, complete. So the questionable right click is slowly coming together, but
Fire only kill the Venge and the Io, so they're never really coming close to killing these core heroes. Troll's getting more farm with an MKB pickup. Storm's got his Bloodstone. These two heroes are very hard to bring down, but at the same time, Leviathans didn't even try and fight. They just ran. They knew they could not win a battle as things stood at the top lane there.
Here goes Jenkins trying to scout out Vendetta, but at the same exact moment, Fire are making a move onto Shredder, so he has to double back, but will he get there in time? BKB pop. Shredder now stuck in the Earth Splitter, goes down immediately. There's a nice 3-man impale, but it's just a little too late. Jenkins not going to be able to help out, and now he might have even handed himself over here. Arrow's not going to catch, but wow! Blown up! TC jumps in, takes a thunderclap on his head, takes him out.
Well, it's not looking good for Leviathans. Playing this 3 support draft with the Troll Storm as your 2 cores does not go late game. Meanwhile, on the Fire side, you've got the Elder Titan, who's fantastic late game. Slark is looking like a big late game carry. Brewmaster's already transitioned into his BKB. Items galore, and the item progression for Leviathans is there, but it's just not as high impact as what we're seeing on the Fire side.
A couple of giveaways here from Leviathan to help Fire just crawl back into this here. Consistency of Ush farming about and finding kills and finding objectives like you see there continues to build up. So his Slark now getting close to the 20k net worth mark, while Storm's still behind now by 4k. It's looking pretty good. Top lane here. Mike hiding on the sideline. Shibby will scout him out, but a quick blink reaction from Mike. Might even baited him into the lane. He'll sidestep and avoid that one.
Not bad, not bad. Mid lane now. Sunken. Beck gets out of there. Leviathans are just going to be playing pick-off Dota. Like, they're just going to be looking for ganks, looking for whatever pick-offs they can find. Hope that Fire presents some kills with heroes just solo farming lanes, which you kind of have to do to some extent. Like, you want to be as efficient as possible with how you farm the map if Leviathans are playing keep away, which they will do. So from that point of view, there will be some pick-off potential, but you've got to make sure you don't get baited. If you go into someone who's got like an Elder Titan sitting behind ready with a Stomp or a Yule set up, suddenly you're finding yourself initiating into certain deaths. So Leviathans have to be very picky about where they choose which pick-offs they choose to go for, but they've got to find pick-offs.
We'll see how long they want to wait. They could just hope to get that 3rd Roche with the cheese before they maybe go for another set of objective gaming here. But seems to be a bit of a lull for now, and we'll have to see how confident both teams are with their late game presence right now. It does allow time for some of the supports, especially on the side of Fire, to kind of recover from a bit of a staggering start, especially someone like Fluff, but he's been very selfless as expected. He's got 2 sets of wards. He's the ward guy. Got to put them all down, get that extra bit of map control and vision for his Fireside brothers, and checking with Fog after getting his Yules, about 1,500 gold here. We'll see where he decides to take it. TC is going down that utility path on through, and they're going to have an engagement here. Mike is able to sidestep. TC goes ahead, but Shibby catches up, takes out Mike, and now he'll be able to jump back and TP. So this time Mike is not going to be so lucky getting away, and Shibby ultimately takes him down.
Yeah, and that's all Leviathan's going to do for some time, I feel. Maybe they try mix in a Roshan attempt here or there. Fogged at mid does take a lot of damage there. Arrow going to actually hit Sunken.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Okay. First splitter there as well. Sunken, see you later. Wisp, try to get in there, and Jenkins as well. Gets a nice 2-man stun. They're kind of dancing in and out, but yeah, they definitely need that little bit of extra oomph to get in, whether it's Shredder here now waltzing in, or yeah, Shibby's not going to have it though. So 1 for 1. They lose their offlaner in exchange for the Vengeful Spirit there. A tit for a tat, if you will.
Yeah, and every time Fire are losing a hero, they have a core hero somewhere else farming. They're much more efficient. Their supports are getting decent farm. You've got a 7.5k net worth Elder Titan. Osh has picked up a relic. He's going to be getting an Abyssal Blade and 700 gold, assuming he doesn't want to save the buyback, which I don't think he really needs buyback that badly at this point. Just having the Abyssal is going to be a big pickup. So I don't think things are changing much for the better for Leviathans. Maybe they get this next Aegis Cheese and try go for a 5-man push out of it, but other options that just aren't really there for them as far as winning this game.
And for Shibby on his Storm Spirit, he has 3k gold now. I suppose a Sheep Stick would probably be the next best thing you can go for, or unless you think there's something of more value that the Storm Spirit could use to offer as far as late game potency.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this. You've got some lockdown with the Orchid.
Oh, Sacred Relic on Ush.
Yeah, this will be Abyssal.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's anything crazy. It's just gonna be. He went for this before the Basher because they're not fighting. Like he could have got the Basher first, but he's like, I'm kind of lazy. I got Relic money. Live by the Relic.
He's got Basher now, man. Unbelievable. So very farmed up Slark at this point, and Jenkins scouting out mid lane here. Has to be careful. There are a couple of sentries down on the other side. If he waltzes himself over there, he could be spotted out. He's heading right there. They see him already. They jump in. They're going to take out Jenkins. I guess Jenkins is trying to create a little bit of space while the rest of his team goes for Roche, and they're getting it really quick, so I guess it might be worth. But Ush, he's going to grab a DD rune. He's going to go right in. This could be a big impact, but he's all alone right now, and he's going to get blown up. Ush feeling so aggressive with that DD. Oh, man, and now relocate to cut off the rest of them, but a sleep is there from Fog, but here we go. Raining down Starfall, still in it to fight right now. They're trying to focus fire. Nusham on that Wisp as TC hunts him down. Arrow going to be off the mark from Fluff on the low ground, and yep, they gets the relocate out. We'll send them right back towards the Roche side.
Okay.
And that will be the split. Oh, man, Ush, this team was right there rallied behind him. Could have been something big, but he just went a little too fast, a little too quick.
Yeah, he went way too far forward on his own. He saw the DD rune, his eyes lit up, and he's like, crap, there's 5 heroes, I got a BKB anyway, so what DD rune at that point? And we're going to see more pickoffs. Fogged is not going to get chased down. Chibi's low on mana, and it's not like earlier when you that first Aegis use, he got a guaranteed Slark kill. At this point, you don't want to trade this Aegis for just like 1 kill hero there. You need him to get something big out of this.
It's like you want to win a team fight. Sweet new Ferrari, and you want to get in it and go 80 miles per hour, but then you run into the mail post on the way out. He gets this Abyssal Blade, he gets this sweet DD. He knows where they are because the Roche goes down. He's like, I got this, boys. And you're feeling all the fame, but then you go in there and you just get squished.
Here we go. Ready at mid lane. Shredder leading the way. He's got the cheese as well as an Eagle Song, so Butterfly almost up for Shredder. Things suddenly taking a turn back towards the Leviathans camp after a 4,000 to 5,000 net worth lead for Fire.
Fluff be in trouble.
I don't see getting out.
Oh,
could have chased that for sure, but I guess I'm not worried about it, like a Centaur Sun or something.
Well, it has been enough time now for us to come back to the living world. Shibby jumps in, clears out the wave, and would love to get this tier 2.
Yep. 4-sided glyph even, so if they want to keep on pushing with Cheese and Aegis, there's no glyph for the high ground.
Can't get it right there. It is going to be Troll who picks up that tower. Leviathan might just opt to pull back at this point with what they got, but they do still have that Aegis.
And Cheese, no glyph, so not to say it's like, oh, great, go high ground, because Fire still have a much more potent team fight, especially with the Elder Titan on their side, but if they find a pickoff, definitely look to see like a 5v4 high ground breach, but finding that pickoff is something Fire know that it would be really costly for him.
And we'll see here as Leviathan just instead will continue to add the pressure across all of the lanes, trying to restrict the farm a bit from Fire, on being able to move on out. But what a back and forth game it has been thus far, with Leviathan charging out of the gate, getting up to like what felt like a 5 or 6-0 start. Fire were able to find some kills for themselves, some big kills and pickoffs, especially for Ush. And then back and forth we go. It continues. Leviathan gets that big takedown of Ush near the Roche pit, and now it's all them all day as they control the pace of this one, taking down that tier 2 mid lane, and still with Aegis and Cheese in hand, they confidently strut themselves down from the north here, looking to go for another tier 2, the final outer tower of Fire Gaming.
Yeah. Just objective gaming right now for Leviathans, and when you've got Cheese and Aegis, that's the kind of play you want to be doing. So they're doing objective gaming in a very safe fashion. So I think probably rightfully so. Breaching the high ground not going to be easy by any means, but it is still risky to drag this game too long against the Slark Brew Centaur and even the Elder Titan, who's looking like a core hero. 4 of the top 6 farmers are all on the Fire side right now.
go. And we'll see who's going to lead out the charge here. Shredder nursing the ult for now. That plus overcharge could be huge damage. Look at him go from even the low ground with the misses.
Yep.
Get some good chunks in on that tower. TC jumps forward. He gets locked down. Forced away. Can he get the split off? He can. BKB and split. As now they look to go, but Shibby had already taken down Fogg's Elder Titan. And we'll see here if Fire want to keep on going forward, or will they get burned? Let's see. They make a go. Cyclone's going to be right there. They are able to quickly burst down. Sunken Arrow catches out, but already Shibby going on in. Moving forward, Ush very low. Jenkins cuts him off, but he gets Abyssal stunned and brought down. Ush gets down, the Nyx assassin, but unfortunately Mike will drop on the other side. Shibby and Nusham still with Shredder. Get the most out of this one. Leviathan now confidently move themselves into the base and start whacking away at this tier 3.
Awesome buybacks. They still have Aegis. They still have Cheese. How do you fight into this? They're trying to just bring down the supports, and they will do so. It's now 2 versus the world, but Leviathans, these two both have extra life, but Cheese and Aegis on their side. Wisp even going to buy back and relocate back in. Leviathans want racks. They've already taken one. Nusham going to once again be the target, but he's juking around the racks, using it as a defensive beacon, but it's now looking bad for Leviathans. They've overextended. Shibby will lose the Aegis. Should be able to get the jump out. Fog is going to try and time the storm.
Anticipating his long jump, trying to get ahead of him. Oh, the double long jump. Oh, it's so far. What the hell?
Gets the Courier, though.
That's an Olympic record.
Whoa, he really was. Holy shit.
I was just like, I don't
know. He's back and pounding already.
It looked like he's like, okay, boys, I'm going to run and catch up where he's going to go. But, my God, that full life return, he just hops on out of there. Jesus,
Troll did use the cheese. I was like, Troll died fast. He used the cheese and everything, but melee racks was taken, so it's a good trade for Leviathan. You've got their first racks, but by no means is it a game winner, or even close to being a game winner. You've only got a small edge, it still feels like.
Yeah. I mean, Ush picks up a lot of kills there, but the damage had been done. Shredder's only out for another 17 seconds. He doesn't even need to use a buyback, so he'll be able to save those resources as his whole team profits a lot. You got to remember also in this recent change, everyone wins from the racks takedown now, not just from the initial person who gets the last hit. So it's a lot of farm that the whole team builds from. So that makes it a fight. Engagements like that much more worth it because everybody wins just a little bit. So Fire, though, they need to take advantage of those pickoffs and those extra bit of kills and see where they can build on up. It looks like Ush is going to throw together a Boots of Travel for himself while still reserving a bit of gold just in case for a buyback. He's only 300 away from that, and he'll be ready to go. And then we'll have to see what Fire want to do to try to push themselves towards the other side and get themselves into the Leviathan base. Because at this point, it's Leviathan who have all the momentum. They can now continue to play it slow, even go for a sneaky Roche again, and rinse and repeat.
Yeah. It's Jenkins create space while the rest of the team take kind of objectives, or if Jenkins finds a kill with his Vendetta rotations, they go for it with the Wisp relocate. If he doesn't, they take something like a Roshan. So even when Jenkins is dying and his score probably, let's say his score's probably awful, he's 0 and 8. With 8 assists, but that's still a pretty awful score. But he's, to me, has been the MVP for Leviathan so far this game, despite the fact his score is abysmal. And Chibi's 15, 1 and 7, but I think Jenkins has made the bigger plays.
Jenkins has been really a headache. There's no one else that you can really call out as a MVP and still sport a 0 and 8 record. But this Nyx assassin is something of old that we used to see in the off-lane position, really being a nuisance. And right now, scouting out top lane under the darkness of Vendetta as Ush continues to farm it on up. And where do you go from here if you're a Slark? He's got 7 more seconds on his BKB, Abyssal, now Boots of Travel. You start considering trading out some of these items. Like
he's got the treads he can sell.
Yeah, sell out the treads now. And where do you go? Butterfly from here? Is an MKB something? Oh, they already have one on Troll. You can't really go down that road, actually.
He may want an MKB for the Butterfly of Troll, so...
Troll the Butterfly too?
Yeah.
Shredder is just decked out right now. And he's got 222k. Yeah. Troll, man.
Other option is like the Assault Crest, I think, which is not being bought. Actually, is Brewmaster? Yeah, Brewmaster has an Assault Crest, so that's not an option. I think MKB for Slark is good.
Fire tried to smoke and scout out. TC was not in the smoke, and I think that Jenkins saw him and immediately blinked back, and now he pings and says, hey guys, there's a fire in our woods. We need to go extinguish it. So now Leviathan rolling up towards the north. I don't know if they want to put up much of a defense on this tier 2 tower, but certainly be ready towards the base for a big skirmish here.
A minute till next Roshan respawn, and that's where Leviathans have been kind of building their game around, having these Aegis and G, so they'll just let the tier 2 top tower go. And for Fire, it's like you kind of got to fall back. They're not really ready to push the high ground here, but Initiation Jenkins, what you doing, mate? That's not a play. I just hyped him up, saying how well he'd been playing, and he goes and does that.
Uh-oh.
Shibby.
Big trouble. Immediately blown up, and holy moly, before he can even blink, Ush just got a double kill. Shredder even goes down. What went wrong so quick? Oh, man, Nusham also going to get caught out. Team Fire. Quickly, clean house. Like it was nothing.
That was just.
If you dropped your pencil and tried to pick it up, you would have missed the whole fight right there.
Decision-making diarrhea from Leviathans. That I think they, the reasoning that I think they thought Fire had backed off and TP'd back to the other lane, so they thought maybe they could find 1 or 2 heroes get a pick off, but the entire Fire team was still there. No one had TP'd because there was a big creep wave pushing down this mid lane, but Fire were like, let's wait it out, and well, they get a lot out of it. They get a full team wipe.
Jumping forward now, Shibby trying to get something done. BK beat up. Him and Shredder both going toe-to-toe. They are able to burst down the brew. Now can they focus on Ush? He's under shadow, and now he takes down, and now Shredder drops 90 seconds. No buyback. He is out for good, and now they open up on the racks. 1 Rax drops. Jenkins goes forward. Ush is swapped right back in, and he is trying to waddle out, but the stun is there. Right at the tip, but he is out for good. Shibby now, no more mana. He drops it. Might as well be game, and he is out. He does have a buyback still at the ready, and he might need to use it after VS also goes down, and he's not spending it. I think they might be considering a possible white flag throw. Mind you, this is still game number 1 here.
Oh, big impale.
Nice. Oh, big jump in right there. They take down 2. Double kill for Shibby.
Serious?
Make it a triple. Unbelievable. Return again. Back and forth we continue here.
Okay.
Leviathan, never say die.
That's some serious Dota 2 coming out of Leviathans, from awful decision-making at that top 5-man wipe to some fantastic initiation there. They go from one extreme to the other, and here we go, back in it. This is going to secure him in Roshan, and once again, Aegis and Cheese in the Leviathan's hands has translated into Rax's once before, so maybe we see that once again. They'd love to get one of those items on the Troll, and they can do so. Give Shibby the Aegis and keep the Cheese and pass it over the Troll when he respawns.
We'll see now. They're going to come back. Buyback's still available and ready for a lot, though, of the Fire squad, so we'll have to bring down a lot of them a couple of times. Mike doesn't have it, but he only needs 30 more seconds. Ush already with his, TC already with his as well, so it's going to be a pretty strong defense.
Should be going no boots. Going to drop the treads and take the Aegis for himself.
Right.
Picks up a Lincoln Sphere as well. That's the other thing we hadn't mentioned, but he just purchased this one, and without buyback, he may as well spend all that money. This will mostly block the Abyssal Blade of the Slack, which is kind of one way to actually lock down the Storm and kill him.
All right, so with that, Fire will step back, itemize a bit further, but in this next fight, they got 2nd lives to work with, while Leviathan with only the 1. They take big damage on the top of their base, losing already the 1 Rax, making things a lot more even as far as how the whole spread of the map goes, but really, both teams showing that they are going to fight tooth and nail for game number 1 to try to have the momentum. The loser will be able to fight on for a game number 2.
Yep.
And, man, some of the 2 better teams right now showing their worth.
Showing some good American Dota right now. This is what we get to look out for here, I guess.
Sometimes it's crazy, sometimes it's sloppy, but these guys, they can throw punches. It may not be boxing, but it's a bar fight. Sometimes those are the best.
I mean, these are the kind of teams who may qualify for like a LAN finals at Starladder, and their playstyle could catch teams off guard. You never know.
Absolutely.
Teams who are used to playing this more like structured,
they probably don't even watch
Dota.
the game. So look at a team like Leviathan make their way to Starladder, and they're like, Pudge? What's that about?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you got a Pudge hooking you from the dark every few moments, and
suddenly Leviathan is taking down Invictus Gaming. You know,
exactly. Don't count them out. Make sure you do that proper research.
Sec, he just left. Right. Hopefully no Infinity Deja Vu here with stuff coming up.
Yeah. You know what though, and you say that, and nice thing I guess is that Infinity has good news to come back to. At least that his team has moved on, but hopefully everything, of course, once again is working out for him as he had to step out in the previous series. For this one though, a mild hiccup, as apparently one of the players had dropped at least out from their Skype or vocal communication, whatever they're using. Yep. So, bit of a lull right here. 31-26 is your kill count, though. As far as the game goes, it's feeling pretty dead even here. I mean, certainly not as much as it shows on here. Fire is a 12K net worth lead, apparently, after taking down so many kills and structures, but Leviathan have shown that they also can put up a pretty solid defense.
Right. Yeah, if you want to put like a number value on having an Aegis and Cheese, it'd be up like in the 5 to 10K net worth margin. So I think that makes up for a lot of this lead. But that means Leviathans need to get something done, because last time they didn't have Cheese and Aegis, that's when Fire took a top Rax, got a team wipe, and then they got a bit too overzealous going for that mid-Rax as well. But it means to me, if Leviathans don't get another Rax or win a big team fight off of this Aegis cheese, I see them in a lot of trouble.
So let's see what they can do. Leviathan on the fire side of the map right now, spreading it out. And really, this is that tricky point here when how are you going to look to really break the base? They have low ground siege with that troll and that huge amounts of attack speed. With putting together troll and wisp, I mean, you're easily going to go up to that move speed cap, the new threshold that they put in this recent patch. I believe it's now 600.
Unfortunately, Troll's stuck with the shitty bash. Troll wishes he could build Abyssal Blade. That's honestly one of the reasons why Troll is not a very viable hero, because you can't go bash, you can't go Abyssal Blade. You're stuck with a 10% bash when other melee heroes get 25% bash with a guaranteed stun through BKB and the Abyssal Blade, but you just can't get this item on Troll. It kind of sucks. I don't know. Like, if he had an Abyssal Blade, he'd be able to fight the Slark, and that's where I feel like Slark matches up okay against Troll, because he can build Abyssal Blade, Troll can.
Here we go. Leviathan now on the welcome mat. Fire base in this mid lane. Fire all spread out well behind the Rax right here. Trying to find optimal positioning, and it is going to be Shibby with that Aegis going up to the high ground. Moonlight Shadow going to be popped, and immediately Leviathan pull back.
They have the gem, and looks like they just want to wait it out regardless. They don't really want Jenkins really far forward. He goes down very quickly if he gets initiated on with some kind of a stun.
And this is 2 minutes now for this Aegis. They're going to wait out for the possible Moonlight Shadow time, and when they realize that fire actually still in the base, they'll go for a second push here while they still have time on their extra life.
Yep. So, leaving that Alpha Wolf in the Roshan pit. You should bring that along, man. 1100 HP Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, man.
Give him, he's going to help you push. Could have done an extra couple hundred damage to the tower with that aura, maybe. But
20% chance for a 200%. That's Jug level 1 right there.
Or more so just for the aura. Like, you have an extra bonus, I don't know, 30, 40 damage on
I was looking at the icon. Yeah, 30%. Holy moly. Yeah, that's a lot of bonus damage. And now he's got that extra bit of meat on the bones, too. It's not as easy of a wolf to take down. So here we go. Shredder now. There's the overcharge. He's going to begin unloading on this tier 3 tower. Not using his ult just yet, but they are nursing the glyph as well.
How long in this age? Just 1 minute left. And Fire's done a really good job of stalling this.
Yes.
They've held onto their glyph and got just 1 minute left on the Aegis timer. So I think Fire are in a pretty good position. This next creep wave, I think Leviathans have to commit. At least force the glyph, and we'll see Slack now pick up an MKB. Storm going to zip to the high ground, and this is where you probably use your glyph.
Look at their positioning. They're going now up to the north-hand side. Now they have to go in. They jump in. Hush, though, is going to be right there, and they blow up Jenkins. Now they're on the hunt. Rushing forward, they want to go right for Shredder, who does not have the Aegis, but he does have that cheese. He wants to heal up, but he can't get it off. He goes down. That Earth Splitter sets it up very nicely, and Nushim on his Wisp. Brought down with one more smack if he can get it, but meanwhile, mid lane, your Aegis is going to be popped. Another one drops, and if they can clean out this one as well, it'd be a big grab. VS should drop as well, and Shibby might be the lone survivor here, and it looks like he will be. They take down that Vengeful Spirit, and it's Fire waiting out. Beautiful stall play for the Aegis, and they get a big counter jump.
Storm could be in trouble. There's an Abyssal Blade. No Abyssal Blade. Needs an instant bash. Can you get the bash? Look, Fluff and stuff is there. Arrow's still available.
They got him.
Whew.
Oh my goodness, again, Fire now on the other way.
No buyback, 45 seconds.
Down 5, and they're just going to go right for the Leviathan base. Oh, hi, nice courier. Oh, Fluff got it. And the courier goes down with 1,400 of net worth.
They're going to get a Rax off of this. Storm has no buyback for 30 seconds. It was so close to being back up, and his respawn timer on 45 seconds. So he may even have to use this buyback with like 15 seconds to live just to save their last Rax. This is looking really bad for Leviathans here. They came so close here in game 1. They're not out of it just yet, but it's looking awfully dire for them.
And the dire. 2-man impale. They're from Jenkins, and while Jenkins had been, I'd have to, obviously agree with you, MVP from early to mid game. At this point, it's just Nick's assassin trying to do his best in the late game run, and it's not going to be the best, but he's there trying to pinch and poke a bit. Shredder with his buyback now, pops his BKB, and this is the last hurrah as they move on in. Shibby as well in the action. Mike could be in trouble, and he will go down, but here we go. Hush going right in there, trying to get it done, dominating for him as he quickly cleans out Jenkins, who will buy back. Shredder, though, already drops, and now so does the Wisp. Killing spree for Fog. They take down the last set of racks up, and it looks like Team Fire, with your new roster, is going to win game number 1 of this best of 3 series against Leviathan in the Starladder playoffs.
Yeah, they're just going gallivanting past the tier 4 towers, looking for any kills they can right now, and it's just easy pickings. They get their final racks, and it's GG. Leviathans go down in game 1. Whew. What a way to start things off here.
All right.
Tightly contested games.
Really long and really intense, but, you know, of course, props to Fire. They remain calm and composed. They stall out. It proves to be rewarding for them. They get their first game, and we're going to be heading into game number 2 here. Match point, though, for Team Fire.
Yeah, so we'll see if Team Fire can secure the 2-0 win. We'll have the loser bracket round 1 match after this, so plenty of Dota 2 action coming your guys' ways from Starladder America. I'm GoDz, streaming as KOTLguy. You can follow us on Twitter at BTSGoDz and at KOTLguy. Stick around. Game 2 coming up next.